This is another Candid Shots entry on mental strength training, and we're going to discuss 3 components to mental strength right now: routines, failure, and visualization. Okay, so let's start with routines first. Routines apply to everything: diet, sleep, study, practice, and game routines. So it's very important for the parents and the players to understand that these routines can build competitive habits. A lot of kids don't have these routines. A lot of people refer to routines when they talk about free throws, right? You have to have a proper routine, and it's true. You have to have a proper routine to make free throws, but they apply to everything, all right? Your physical routine must get you properly aligned and in the correct posture. Okay, so that's it. For an example, being able to defend when you're in this position is, and this is not an easy position to sustain, mind you. Most kids will, after a certain period of time, begin to stand up, right? Those kids can't really defend, especially when they become fatigued. So the routine of moving your feet laterally and staying in this position, one of many different routines that are required to compete. Okay, your mental routine includes visualization and committing yourself to the plan. So we're going to talk about visualization in a minute, but it's really important that if you want to compete to the best of your ability, that you see these things in advance, that's visualization, and that your mental routine includes this. So maybe the night before, or maybe an hour before the game or the practice. One thing that we were taught, we had great coaches, try to, before the competition begins, whether it's practice or a game, contemplate a move that you're going to try to execute that might be out of your comfort zone. For example, for me, a little left-handed jump hook, right? That was not in my repertoire, especially in high school. So I worked on that and I visualized it and thought about it and made it part of my routine. Okay, the next topic is going to be failure. Right off the bat, and the kids that have come to basics and the parents that are in the gym here, they'll have heard this from me dozens of times. Failure is an opportunity. Failure is an opportunity to learn, right? So don't shy away from failure, right? Now, try not to make the same mistake twice. Obviously, you're going to learn from your failures, but don't be fearful, right? Try to understand failure's okay. They all fail. LeBron fails. Steph Curry fails. Everybody fails. It's the players that can react to the failure the best and most productively who improve. Now, this is interesting. When you maintain a good attitude, failure doesn't bother you that much. If you have a really good positive attitude, failure will not bother you that much. So maintain that positive attitude. And I'll end with failure. There's multiple entries in this mental strength. We're not going to go over all of these, but the one that really resonates with me is this one. Intelligent opponents view your frustration or inability to deal with failure as a sign of immaturity. I mean, we used to love playing against guys who lost their composure, who weren't able to deal with the failure. What do you think that did to us? It gave us energy. We had them, right? When the guy starts losing it mentally, it gives you energy. So understand this, players, if the players are watching this, parents, try to explain it to them. When you lose it on the court, it's bad for many reasons, but number one is you're helping your opponent. Try to understand that, okay? Do not assist your opponent. Now, the last one is visualization. This is pretty advanced, right? Visualization is done before the competition or before the practice. You're trying to visualize these things first. And these are some bullet points. I'll just read 3 of them. We all visualize better when we are relaxed. This is why it has to be done beforehand. You're not going to visualize on the bench there while you're waiting to get put into the game. You visualize the night before, you visualize in the locker room before the practice or the game. You visualize beforehand when you're relaxed. Take time to visualize on a regular basis. Don't just give it a cursory effort, right? Take the time to visualize on a regular basis. I remember when I was playing my best, it would be the night before, because I knew who we were playing, I knew who the opponent was, I knew how big that guy was, I knew that he could leap out of the gym. I knew also that he'd probably go for a ball fake. So I would literally visualize ball fakes right on this guy, wait for him to get off the ground, and either go around him or jump into him and create the foul, right? So do it on a regular basis. And then the last one is, you must also visualize coping with failure. How are you going to react when things don't go well? So you're going to visualize, of course, winning and succeeding and making that three-point shot and winning the game, but you must also visualize not doing well. And how are you going to react to that? The thing that we talk about often with our players in this mental strength setting is the obvious mistakes in basketball, the visual or the visible mistakes, are almost always on the offensive end of the floor, right? A travel, a missed shot, a guy blocks your shot. It's very visible. The mistakes on the defensive end are hidden a little bit more easily. So when you make a mistake on the offensive end of the floor, guess what? You can make up for it immediately on the defensive end. So you see this in advance, right? You visualize, okay, I've made a mistake. Now, how can I recover? Recover on the defensive end. Stay below the line, play the passing lane, jam any cutter, right? Rebound the ball, run the court, and you can recover from that mistake. So these are components of mental strength training. We think it's an incredible service, and we're getting more and more kids signed up for this. And we hope that you consider attending. Thanks for listening.